Okay, so that is working. Good stuff. Can I just quickly... Who else is in your group that's absent today? There are people you haven't met yet, but I mean the ones you know of. Let me go check.
Sifu was here. He's no, but she's not here today. Who has load shedding too?
You know what? Just give me a moment. Oh, everyone meet Kai. It's not the Kai that we all know, it's another Kai.
Hello.
So hi there.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, Kai, first thing, I just want to add you to the Google Classroom because, like, we do use it during the lesson. Like, I post things in there and whatever, so, I just want to add you quickly. I'm going to send you a link because that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, tell me when you're in, Kai.
Okay. Where did you send the link?
In the chat. So if you look at the voice channel, there is like a little chat, little open chat button. Do you see it?
Oh yes. Okay. Thank you.
I used to have, for every group, I used to have like a voice channel and a chat and a text channel, and then they added this feature and it changed my life. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay, I joined.
You're in. Okay, so today, okay, so Ryan, you missed this. Piet's the only one who was like, I feel like someone else was here yesterday. Okay, Shannon was here yesterday. Okay, so maybe we'll do the stuff that we were doing with everyone else.
Yeah, Shannon and Sissy. How do you pronounce her name?
Sisipo.
Sissy.
Okay, so yeah, because like Shannon's missing, Sisipo's missing, Sisipo is missing. So it's only you. And we actually need like multiple sources. So yeah, we'll continue with that next week then. So then for today,
Yes.
Let's think. You see, I have to think on my feet because I have to change what I was going to do because people are absent. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to... Yeah, I'm making stuff as I go along. Let me go look at my other lessons. See what other lesson we can do. There it is. Okay, we'll do persuasive language. Okay, what is persuasive language? What do you guys know about persuasive language?
It's basically writing to convince someone of something, or yeah.
Okay, so we're writing to convince someone of something. So, do you agree that there would be certain techniques that we would use to persuade someone?
Yeah.
Okay, can you think of a time that you tried to persuade someone or something?
Like with writing or just in general?
In general.
Well, I tried to convince my parents to buy me a Nintendo.
Oh, how did that work out?
I got it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You're great
I'm
at
pretty
this.
good.
You're great at this. You should give us lessons.
Yeah. I will.
I wish my parents would buy me a Nintendo. But my parents are like, no, you're an adult, buy your own things.
Yeah. No, but I didn't get the full one. I got like the Nintendo Lite.
Okay, so...
But it's still a win, right? So.
Yeah. And I mean, Piet complained so much about how sucky his computer was that he's getting a new laptop. So, yeah, you guys are winners. What about you, Kai?
Yeah,
what did you do to when was the last time you persuaded someone or something, and how did it go?
I remember I used to make PowerPoint presentations like why I should get a hamster, but that was ages ago.
Oh my gosh, that sounds brilliant. I think I want to make a PowerPoint presentation and show my wife and say, this is why I need a hamster. Actually, I don't really want a hamster because I'd have to look after it. Yeah, like this is why I need like a smart home or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, so what techniques? Okay, so if you think back, Kai, to when you had your PowerPoint presentation, and Piet, when you were convincing your parents to buy you a laptop, or you can choose something else, and Ryan, when you were convincing your parents to buy you a Nintendo, how did you convince them? What do you think it was that finally got them to say, okay, sure?
Probably nagging them and manipulating them.
Okay, how did you manipulate them?
I told them that I'd be happy if they got me one.
Like, in contrast to being unhappy if they didn't get you one?
Yeah.
Okay, and parents really just want to make their kids happy.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm not the type of parents who's nice like that. If my kids are like, I'm so unhappy because you won't give me something, I'm like, well, go cry somewhere else, please. Like, don't bother me with your crying. Go do it in your bedroom. Close the door. But also, I know that I am peak drama, and my kids are just like me. So, okay, so you want them to you told them that you were going to be unhappy, and so what were you doing? What did that do to them psychologically?
I think it makes them like question things.
Okay, so a persuasive technique. Well, there are techniques that we can use to make people do this, but we can make them question whether they are right or wrong. We can make them question whether they're doing the right thing. We can make them question their morals. We can make them question their ethics. But questioning is a very important part of persuasion. So that is why a technique that you'll see in a lot of persuasive essays and persuasive speeches would be to ask rhetorical questions, right? Okay. So when we ask rhetorical questions, we all we're doing by asking a rhetorical question is we're trying to get the person to question the status quo. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, in addition to that, we've got. Okay, let's hear Piet. What did you do to convince your parents you need a laptop?
I actually did not convince them to buy me a laptop, so I'm gonna need to think a bit about another thing I tried to convince them about. Some of that could have convinced somebody about something. Because the last time I tried to convince my dad, it did not work out. So I'm gonna need to think a bit more.
What about a friend? Have you ever tried to convince a friend of something? Fortunately, you don't look like the type who's going to try to convince a friend to take drugs or something.
No, not at all. I'm gonna need to think about this one.
Okay, let's
do Kai first, yeah.
Kai, so what is your what techniques have you employed to convince people of things?
Well, I usually make lists of why this pros and cons.
And then do you present them with a list?
Yes.
Okay, so you're appealing to their intellect.
I guess, yes.
So you're appealing to the fact that people want to be logical. Okay? Everyone believes that they are being logical and rational. Whether they are or not, or are or aren't, people believe that they know what they're doing, okay? So when you present them with a list of pros and cons, what that does is it makes them say, oh, okay, well, there are definitely more pros than cons, and therefore the most logical thing would be to choose the thing that's got the most pros. And that almost makes them feel like they've achieved something because they've made this great decision. You know what I mean? So people like to feel clever. People like to feel good about themselves. And when you offer people a list of options and you state how one option is a more logical choice than the other option, they're going to choose the option that is most logical because they don't want to feel illogical. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is a bit of psychology that we're looking at right now, but we're looking at the psychology of persuasion because we use persuasion every day of our lives. And often I ask my students to write persuasive essays and things, and they're like, but I don't know how to persuade. But we do it all the time. I mean, some more than others. Definitely some more than others. Like, my older brother kind of just, like, let my parents tell him what to do, like, when we were growing up. And, I mean, that's fine, but, like, I was not like that. Yeah. There were different rules for me growing up to my brother. Like, we had different rules because my brother wanted to be at house parties and I wanted to be at a metal fest. So we did have different rules because my dad would let me to a house party if I wanted to go, but there's no way I'm going to a house party with a bunch of jocks. But there was absolutely no way that my dad would allow me to go to a metal fest. And so my persuasive technique, which actually rarely worked, was just to sulk all the time. And so do you guys know emos? Do you know what an emo is?
Yes.
I was an emo kid. I was totally an emo kid. I grew up to be a total hippie, but I was an emo kid. I used to straighten my hair every day, and I had this fringe, and I would hide behind my fringe and write poetry. It was actually great. Like, I loved being like sad all the time. It was great. Again, so the point that I'm making is that we do things to persuade people. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of persuasive techniques. But I don't want you to think that these are the only persuasive techniques. You know what I mean?
My persuasive technique I like use mostly when I try to persuade people is telling them what they want to hear about something. We're trying to convince them about.
Yes.
Just telling them about what they would want to hear.
Yes, absolutely. That's totally valid.
And
yeah.
if I get the right reaction, like, oh, I like this, and oh, it actually sounds good, and then I keep on with it, and I just intensify the persuasion I'm trying to do, and it will, eventually they will budge. If you get what I mean.
Yes, I do get what you mean. I'm just looking for... quickly. Who likes textbooks?
Yeah, that's also...
Do you guys like textbooks?
Textbooks are...
Pardon?
Textbooks are alright.
Okay. I'm just going to click Control F and I'm going to look for ripe. No. No. Oh, I'm just looking for this resource. Like, I used to have it on my computer and then I lost it because I can never keep track of where I save anything. Okay, let me just... There might be a thing here. Show more. Okay, you know what? I'll do this. I'm just going to copy this image and paste it in the chat. That's probably the easiest way. Open image, a new tab. Okay, it's actually very small. Okay, I've pasted an image in the chat. and I'm also about to share my screen. Okay. So, a ripe forest. Okay. So, this is basically just some persuasive techniques that we might use and things that you can look for in a text when you're looking for persuasive techniques, but more importantly, when you're doing persuasive writing, these are the things you can look at actually implementing. Ask yourself, is this persuasive? Have I used persuasive techniques effectively? Is my text actually persuasive, or is it just argumentative? Because at the end of the day, we can have... what do you think is the point of an argument?
To win.
Yeah, but do you really want to win if you're wrong?
Oh no.
Okay, so the point of an argument is to come to the truth, come to a knowledge of the truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so to find some kind of consensus and see, okay, what is the... where do I actually stand? So, who's ever been in an argument where you're in the argument and you're just really trying to win, whether you're right or wrong, you just want to win this argument? I have. I've definitely been there. Like,
I'd say we've all probably been in.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I try to be a good person, but in reality, I just really want to be right all the time. And yeah. So okay. So, especially when I argue with my parents and things like that, I end up acting like a teenager. And I don't listen to their points of view. And so, I want to pose an idea that a more effective way of getting your point across is to use persuasive techniques, but also be aware of the fact that you may be wrong. Okay? So, as much as you use persuasive technique, as much as you're trying to persuade someone of something, using the other side of the argument and looking at the other side of the argument can be just as persuasive as only looking at your side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Must I give you an example of that, or do you understand? Hello?
Understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so around forest, first up we've got alliteration. So alliteration, I would say alliteration or anecdote. Both of these fall under A. So alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of a word. Well, it depends. There are different definitions of alliteration, but that's the one we'll go with. But basically just repetition of a consonant sound. So Sally sells seashells. But what that does is it subconsciously gets you to say, okay, well, this is entertaining to read. This is interesting. And so when you're reading this, when your audience is reading this, they're more likely to become engrossed in what you are saying. And by being engrossed in what you are saying, they're more able to open themselves up to your ideas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got alliteration. Then we've got, what's it called? Anecdotes. Okay. So an anecdote is a personal story of some sort. Okay? So you'll see that my teaching is riddled with anecdotes, because I don't want you guys to see me as some teacher who is out there and their English use is beyond how I can use English. I want you to know that when I was in grade 11, I got really average marks for English. Even in matric, I got very average marks for English. What made me love English was that I had amazing English teachers. And so I ended up studying English as a result. And I did really well at university. You know, sometimes in literature I would get a 71 or whatever. But the point is that what that does, me telling you little stories like that, me giving you little anecdotes like that, makes me relatable to you. It makes you see me as a real person, because have any of you ever been in a normal a normal school? You all have, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you ever find it really awkward to see your teachers at spa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is because you didn't see them really as real people. You saw them as was defined by their role in your life. But you didn't really have an understanding of the fact that they have lives, they have children, they have opinions, they probably get drunk on a Friday night. They were also teenagers. They also have problems. And so by creating an anecdote, what it does is it makes you relatable to your audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we want our audience to connect with us. And what does it do when you can relate to your audience? Are you more likely to listen to what they have to say or less likely?
More likely.
More likely.
Okay, you get that. So that is a persuasive technique. Next up, we've got repetition. So repetition is pretty simple. You can either repeat words, or you can repeat phrases throughout your text, or you might say the same thing in two different ways. So my wife is a very good communicator. My wife is also autistic, and a lot of people kind of, I don't know why it is, but they've always kind of just disregarded things that she says, because people can be rude. And so what she's learned to do is say things in 3 different ways. So everything she says in 3 different ways. And what that does is it increases the likelihood of people listening to her, because the first time you say it, it's a new idea to them. The second time you say it, they start to think about it. And the third time you say it, they feel like they had the idea all along. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. I am literally teaching you guys how to be good manipulators here. Okay, but repetition is great. It's very helpful. You'll notice that I use a lot of repetition when I'm teaching. I use all of these techniques when I'm teaching because every moment that I'm teaching, I'm trying to convince you that what I'm saying is worth listening to and is going to help you in some way. Does that make sense? And even if you don't really know how to relate this to your life, you can at least be like, well, that was interesting at least. Okay, next up we've got imperatives. So imperatives are, if I say it is imperative that you make me coffee, what does that mean?
To make, like, you need to make me coffee?
Yes, you have to. You don't have a choice in the matter. Okay? So an imperative is basically something that someone doesn't have a choice in the matter of. So, if I tell my daughter, my daughter kept coming into my room this morning while I was in a lesson. And I started with saying, Elsa, please stop coming into my room. And then I tried, would you mind not coming into my room? Eventually, she just was not listening. So eventually I said, you will not come into my room again until I invite you. And she hasn't been in my room again this morning. Okay? So giving an imperative like that, it's a command. It takes away choice. And so giving your audience an imperative can be kind of difficult because you want your audience to trust you. Now, you also don't want your audience to feel like you're telling them what to do, necessarily. You know what I mean? You don't want them to be intimidated by you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're going to use imperatives, you need to use it very carefully in order to make it
not sound intimidating.
Not sound intimidating, yeah. Okay. Next up, we've got pronouns. So, let me give you an example. Okay, if I say to you, you struggle with communication. Okay? And I say, you struggle with communication. And on the opposite end, I say, we all struggle with communication. And these are the things. Or if I say, you struggle with communication, these are the things you should do. And if I say, we all struggle with communication, these are the things we can do. Which one are you more likely to listen to?
Like out of all of these?
No, of the two. So if I say, you struggle with communication, this is what you should do. Or if I say, we all struggle with communication, this is what we can do. Which are you more likely to listen to?
Second one.
Okay, and why?
Because I don't want to feel like I'm the only one that struggles with communication.
And you also don't want to feel judged.
Yeah.
So by changing our pronouns, it can really prevent people from feeling judged. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Again, exaggeration. Who has exaggerated in their life?
Me.
Definitely a few times.
I exaggerate every day. I exaggerate everything. Every movement is exaggerated. So, like, exaggeration is a very big thing in my life. But why do we exaggerate?
Maybe because we get frustrated.
Because we get frustrated, okay?
I'd say
what does exaggeration do?
Get the audience to connect more to what you're saying. get the audience to connect to it. You're just saying.
I don't know. If I say I've had 1 million cups of coffee
And
today, or okay, that's a hyperbole. If I say I've had 10 cups of coffee today.
Attention.
So
And I keep think connected to what you're saying.
Sound is so bad at the moment. Okay,
I
can't wait till you get your new laptop. Like, I'm so excited. I'm probably more excited than you, Piet. Okay, so in terms of exaggeration, the reason we exaggerate is, or the purpose of exaggeration is to emphasize a point. It emphasizes something. It makes something stand out. So if I'm exaggerating, if I say I've had 10 cups of coffee today, it doesn't really matter how many cups of coffee I've had today. The point that I'm trying to emphasize is either that I'm very tired and so I've had a lot of coffee, or I have a lot of energy because I've had 10 cups of coffee. Okay, so it could either be the effect of the coffee or the need for the coffee, and you determine that according to context. So the exaggeration is for the purpose of emphasizing the thing I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Next up is facts. Okay, so providing facts, really important. Okay. When we get to statistics, there's something I want to tell you about statistics. But okay, so when we provide facts, it's very important. So if you're going to write an argumentative essay, or persuasive essay, or a speech of some sort, what you're going to do is you're going to provide facts, and you're going to provide also the sources for those facts. Because providing a source for a fact, if I say, did you know that, let me just think of, like, this is going to be a totally made up fact. Oh, this is a fun one. Did you know that taking magic mushrooms at breakfast time allows you to sleep better at night? Because it's true, I suppose. If I say that, and we compare it to this, did you know that a small dose, the American Journal of Psychology released an article stating that small doses of psilocybin, which is magic mushrooms, psilocybin with your breakfast will increase concentration during the day and allow you to sleep better at night. By the way, I'm not condoning drugs, please. I just wanted a random fact, and that is what came to it.
Isn't that called shrooms? Or what do they call it?
Magic mushrooms, yeah, shrooms.
Yeah.
So which one are you more likely to listen to?
Second one.
Okay, because I gave you a source. It sounded more accurate. It sounded more believable. You get that?
Yeah.
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 Next up, we've got opinion. So, why do we want opinion in an argument, in a persuasive piece?
To to express like your point of view of some things, and for them to like understand like where you're coming from and stuff.
Yeah. So we've spent all this time getting their trust. We've spent all this time getting them to believe that we are worth listening to, giving them anecdotes so that they feel like they can relate to us, using pronouns like we so that they feel like we're including ourselves with them, making them feel like we're not judging them. So at that point, they want to hear your opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I trust someone, I want to hear their opinion. Then we've got rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions. I spoke to you earlier about rhetorical questions and how I don't know if it was this class. How a rhetorical question, asking any question, gets people to question themselves, question their motives, question their ideas. That was with you guys that I spoke about that, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, because I spoke to my previous class about rhetorical questions as well. Okay, so rhetorical questions are great. Emotive language. So saying things like, okay, let's do this. A person was kidnapped at the bowling alley. Okay, so hold that in your head. An alternative could be a young girl, only aged 5, was shockingly kidnapped at the bowling alley. Which one gets a better response from you? Which one makes you like more shocked?
2.
The second one.
So we've used emotive language and it's made you believe that this is an extra bad thing. If you tell me a person was kidnapped at the bowling alley, I'm like, well, it's South Africa. What do you expect?
Yeah, kind of laugh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like giving those details, using some emotive language really makes the audience want to act, want to care about it. Statistics. Did you know that people are more likely to believe a statistic that is an odd number than an even number?
True.
So, in that case, if you ever provide statistics, and you're not totally sure of the numbers, but you know it's like around 50% or around 60%, instead of saying it was 50%, say it was 49%. So round down and round it to an odd number, because then people are more likely to believe you. Oh my gosh, I feel evil for teaching you guys how to lie like this. I'm coming now. Yes. I'm in a lesson. Please ask Granny to make you food. Or make yourself a sami. Or there is coleslaw. Okay. So statistics are really helpful. Have any of you ever read an article and you've been like, oh, I don't know if I believe this, and then they come to the statistics and you're like, maybe.
Yeah.
Or there's a billboard near me that says 65%. It's a Pepsi ad and it said, we did a taste test, and 65% of Joburg prefers Pepsi Max. So, that's providing a statistic. It makes me think maybe I'm part of that 65%. I do not prefer Pepsi Max. I prefer normal Pepsi. But yeah, so. Okay, then triples. When I spoke about repetition, I spoke about triples. Triples, 3 is like this magic number, and if you do things in 3s, somehow it just works. Like, if I write an essay, I write an introduction, 3 paragraphs, a conclusion. Or I'll have, within each paragraph, I'll have 3 main points. I try to keep things in 3s. Even if there is another point I could add, I'd rather not add that point so that I could keep things in 3s. Again.
Yeah.
So these are our rules of persuasion, or our techniques of persuasion. Okay. I'm just thinking. Okay, what is your favorite, like, thing that you have that costs money? That you bought, or someone bought for you?
My phone.
Your phone.
Probably my Xbox. I bought it myself, I think, and I'm very proud of that.
Is it an Xbox One?
Series S.
Is that like newer than the One?
That's the second newest one. The Xbox Series X is the newest one.
I don't know why they just changed the numbers. Why didn't they just keep like, oh wait, it was Xbox 360 and then it was like Xbox One and...
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And what about you, Kai?
Probably my iPad.
Okay, so what I want you to do is create just a paragraph. You're going to write a persuasive piece where you are trying to get people to buy this thing. Okay? I don't care what your motives are. You might be making money off them. You might just want someone else to have an iPad so that they stop using your iPad. Is it, Ryan, is it a specific cell phone that you like, or just the idea of a cell phone?
Just the idea.
Okay, so you'll be happy with the Nokia 3310.
If it has Snapchat, then yes.
Oh, it doesn't have Snapchat. Do you know what a Nokia 3310 is?
No.
It's the indestructible phone.
Ew.
This was what phones looked like when I was a kid, okay?
I'd take the Nokia 3310 over any iPhone 14.
My first phone was a
Samsung S22.
Nokia 8210, I think. Yeah, this was my first phone. And then I had like a... Oh, I can't remember what the next phone was. A Siemens something. Siemens C33.
Oh.
Let's see. No. Oh, this was my next cell phone. It wasn't that great though. Over there, it's charging. Thanks so much, love. Okay, so we've got that. It's not charging anymore. It's fine. Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do for me, let me just create this task in Google Classroom.
Are we gonna do this for homework?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
write a paragraph. Are you guys cool to play the meme game just now?
Yep.
Cool.
Anytime.
Write a paragraph about. Oh, by the way, on Kai on Thursdays, the last half an hour of the lesson, just because it's the last half an hour of the week, then we do something fun like the meme game or like Sketch.io or something.
Okay.
We just have fun. It's just so that you guys can get to know each other. You guys are all like in different places. Like Ryan, you stay in Kempton, hey?
Yeah.
And Kai, you're in Cape Town, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, so write a paragraph about or convincing someone to.
That's somewhere. It's messing with the computer.
What is your guys' first phone?
Mine was a BlackBerry.
Oh, same. Yeah, that's so cool.
Blackberries were great.
But
Was
it's
it
so
like
ugly.
the BlackBerry 5280 or something? What? That's like normal BlackBerry, or was it one of the touchscreen Blackberries?
I think it was a normal one.
How old are you?
16, turning 17 this
No,
year.
how old were you when you got your first phone?
Oh, I was like, honestly, grade 2. So I think 6.
Okay, I was also in grade 2. You guys are going to be shocked. My kids had their first tablets when they were 3.
Ah.
I didn't have a TV. I feel like that makes.
Yo, we didn't have a TV. Okay, let's...
Marina?
Yes.
Are you sure that you're going to need OBS?
Yes, why?
Because I think that this computer will probably only run Discord.
I need OBS.
Marina's, it keeps freezing when I'm just trying to run Edge.
Okay, you know what? Let me just try... I need to be able to record the lesson. I'll just stream directly to YouTube, it's fine.
Because I'm staring at this, waiting to be able to do something with it. I'm about 3 seconds away from forcing my clothes.
I don't even know what to do. Guys, I'm going to have load shedding and my computer's going to be so slow. Because I'm using like an old laptop and it's just like not a vibe. Okay, so write a paragraph convincing someone to buy your favorite material possession, not from you. Okay, how do I download this? Save image as. I just always have to do this during the lesson because those who know me know that I forget everything. Like, I would forget my name if I could. That would be interesting, though. Okay, cool. So, is that cool? Does anyone have any questions on that?
No. Is it posted on Google Classroom?
Yes, it's on Google Classroom.
Okay.
Remember, if you submit something to me on Google Classroom, please make sure to leave a comment so that I know that you submitted it. Because when you submit it, it doesn't like give me a notification. So you have to comment so that it emails me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna end the stream so that we can have fun.